What a performance by Manchester United. 5-goal thriller at the Emirates Stadium. It ended Arsenal 2, Manchester United 3. It was a fantastic performance by Michael Carrick's team. Remember, last week's Saturday, Manchester United defeated Manchester City in the Manchester Derby. And of course, Michael Carrick has followed that up with another impressive win away to Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Of course, the last time United won a Premier League game at the Emirates Stadium was in December 2017. But of course, they have been able to break that record. Welcome to another edition of Sports Hangout, where we give you the latest coming from the ever-busy world of sports. Of course, Arsenal fans are not happy. Manchester United fans are excited. And we'll talk about what happened earlier today. Manchester United beating Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium by 3-2. JJ is here. JJ seems to have lost his voice, but JJ, how excited are you? United going to the Emirates Stadium and beating Arsenal by 3-2.
Yeah, we went to the Emirates with a lot of Arsenal. We went with Kunia Bazooka.
Yeah.
We went with Brian Umbu Emo.
I know you're excited.
By his name, you already know that we went with a bomb in Brian Buemo. And of course, the Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
He was the sniper of the team.
Okay.
And what about Patrick
Doku? That's screamer of the goal. That's screamer of the goal. But JJ, let's quick.
The Arsenal that we played today against was the Arsenal we went to the Emirates with. We had a lot of weaponry. And yeah, as you can see.
JJ, let's start with Arsenal Football Club. What do you think went wrong with Arsenal? I mean, Arsenal have not lost a game all season at home this season in all competition. They've only failed to win 2 matches before now against Manchester City and against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. But again, nobody saw it coming that they were going to lose at home to Manchester United. What do you think went wrong with Arsenal against United?
Well, I think one of the things we must look at Arsenal is this. They've played a lot of games this season.
Is it fatigue?
It should be fatigue. 4 competitions.
But they have a big squad right now. Arteta have been rotating his team.
Sometimes when some players are not playing consistently, or when they are coming on almost to the end of the game, they would not be as much fit as those that have been playing regularly 90 minutes. Sometimes it could play a factor as well in. So what I saw today with Arsenal is Arsenal, they were not as at their top, at their best against. But then you must, if we are saying that against Arsenal, for Arsenal, it means we are discounting the work of
kudos to Manchester United. I think they were able to stifle Arsenal.
Exactly. Man United,
from playing their normal game.
From what
it was not free for Arsenal.
I've been saying it that if we did against Arsenal what we did against Manchester City last week, it was going to be a no-brainer for us because I was so certain. I told you on Friday, I said the level of confidence that a game can do to a team is what now it's true. Winning against Arsenal and Manchester City in the space of 7-8 days.
That's massive.
It's a lot.
JJ, what has Michael Carrick done to this Manchester United team? Now, before you talk, because this was the same team that struggled earlier in the season under Ruben Amorim, and in 2 matches right now, beating Manchester City at Old Trafford, and again beating Arsenal away from home. 6 points, massive 6 points for Arsenal. So, what has Michael Carrick done? Because he's working with practically the set of players that worked with Ruben Amorim. What has changed?
I think the first thing people will notice from outside is Michael Carrick has reverted from a back 3 to a back 4.
Yeah.
But that's not the most important thing Michael has done. Carrick has come in. Carrick has raised the confidence level, the belief system of this Man United team. Carrick has, you know, when we were talking about our appointment, we talked about the DNA of Manchester United.
I think he has the DNA, the philosophy of United as well.
A lot of people were like, what is Man United's DNA? Man United, you've got to move on. There's not such thing as DNA again. No, we're talking about you have to be unpredictable. Yeah. The 3 goals against Arsenal is
fantastic.
Except for maybe Mbumo's goal.
Yeah.
Patrick Douglas and Matheus Cunha's goal were
fantastic
out from nowhere, out of the blue goals, and those were unpredictable goals. You wouldn't have thought Man United would have scored those goals under Amorim. So it's like you guys have been under shackle before, and now I release you to go play.
The freedom for United
got
to
the freedom. Look, Patrick Doku, look at where he scored the goal, for instance. He had the freedom to roam, and of course, he was to be able to get Bruno Fernandes to play in a team to play, and when I say play, I'm not talking about fitting him into just go to play to bring out his best. I think it's a huge plus for a team, and that's what Michael Carrick has done successfully with Man United. So it's integrated Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's been the weapon that's been unleashing other forwards this past 2 games.
Let's stick with Man United before we go to Arsenal Football Club. Now, if you check the Premier League log right now, with that win of Man United, they've moved to 4th behind Aston Villa, Manchester City, and Arsenal Football Club. Fantastic win for Man United. Should United fans start believing that they can finish in the Champions League place this season?
I think I mentioned that last week that we, Man United, we're not just thinking we can finish in the top 4. As it stands,
United fans, they can win the league.
We can even win the league. And that's not too much to say. But honestly,
when you say you can win the league, sarcasm, right?
The same way people said everywhere will first blow from Man United's house when they go to play against Arsenal. It's the same thing.
Fantastic,
But I think it's a bit too much of a ask for Man United to win.
But I think finishing the top 4 this season for United will be a good achievement. I mean, for a team that struggled under Ruben Amorim and now under Michael Carrick, they are doing very well. I think if they finish in the top 4, that would be a fantastic achievement for Manchester United. But I mean, if you look at those also fighting for the Champions League spots, we talk about Aston Villa, we talk about Manchester City, Liverpool, you talk about Chelsea. Liverpool, you talk about Chelsea. Chelsea won their game this weekend. United won their game. I'm very sure Chelsea fans were supporting Arsenal to beat United, but of course, United won that game. So you are saying that United can finish in the Champions League place this season?
Yeah, you know, earlier today I was watching the game with one of the fans of world champions, and he seemed to be very.
They call themselves world champions. There is nothing
about, and he seemed to be very certain that Man United are going to be below them come the end of the day.
Okay.
And if we played against City and against Arsenal, the 2 best teams in the league.
6 points from 6, that's massive.
6 from 6. It's a signal, a huge signal to other clubs.
United, they are back.
This team, I won't say they are back, but I will say they are a team that
they have the confidence right now. Yeah.
The confidence
and the fact that they have the opportunity of resting between games. No, they are playing in the Premier League.
They can, and
it's not as if they are playing any Champions League game.
And one other thing that Michael Carrick has got right is his substitution and in-game tactics.
Fantastic, yeah.
Which has always been a bone of contention with Ruben Amorim.
Okay.
He's almost always got it wrong, Ruben Amorim.
JJ, let's talk about Arsenal Football Club right now. Now, with the benefit of history, I know that Arsenal fans are afraid right now. They should be afraid.
And they should.
Because this is not the first time.
Quite right on.
And I've always said that when it gets to January, it gets to February,
that's when they
Arsenal will tire out and they will start dropping points. Do you think this is a blip for Arsenal? Do you think they are going to bounce back? Right now, they are still 4 points ahead of Manchester City and Aston Villa, but we still have 15 games to go to the end of the season. Should Arsenal fans be afraid, or do you think that they will still win the league? They can still win the league at the end of the season. Do you think they should be afraid right now? Because, you know, it has happened before where it gets to January and February, they start dropping points. Losing to Manchester United was a shocker, to be honest. But do you think Arsenal still has the initiative?
Well, I think if you're thinking, if Arsenal fans need to panic, if they want to panic rather, I don't think this season is the time for them to panic. Why? Because the closest rival behind them is Manchester City, and they are a team that have not got it right either.
Yeah.
So
they've not also been consistent.
But then if you look at the past 4 results, Arsenal in the Premier League, it's a huge concern.
Yes.
I think that's just
goalless draw. Yeah, goalless draw against goalless draw against Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Goalless draw. They really score. They scored 2 goals today, but they lost the game as well. So that should be a concern.
That can be, like you always say, it can be a PTSD moment for Arsenal. But then for the players, now is not the time for them to keep looking at the past.
Now
it's the time to focus on the next game.
JJ, let's do a bit of breakdown right now. Arsenal still got some tough matches before the end of the season. Definitely, they are playing against Tottenham Hotspur away from home. They are still going to play against Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. They are playing away to Manchester City. Those are the 3 toughest games on paper for Arsenal. For Manchester City, they have more tougher games than Arsenal. Definitely, they are playing Chelsea. They are still going to play Liverpool. Manchester City, they are going to play Liverpool.
They are playing Tottenham.
They are playing Tottenham Hotspur. They are playing Arsenal Football Club. based on the fixtures that, I mean, the two teams have right now, Arsenal and Manchester City, do you think that Arsenal will have it easier than Manchester City? Because on paper, they seem to have easier fixtures compared to Manchester City. The last 15 games of this season.
If we're looking on paper, we can say they've got easier fixtures than Manchester City.
Yeah.
But if we're looking on reality, you know, if Arsenal could draw against Nottingham Forest, I think that tells you
away from home. But again, Arsenal, just to corroborate.
If we're talking about away from home, Arsenal, they have a fantastic away from home too this season, and that's got to be the hallmark of a champion. You don't see anywhere as home or away. Of course, your home has got to be a fortress, which Arsenal has really fantastically done this season. But you've got to pick point away. But then drawing away from home is not a bad result, honestly. But if you are dropping points consistently, 2, 3, 4 games now, it's going to be a huge source of concern. But then, like I said, Man City themselves are not any better. In fact,
their win yesterday against Wolves, that was just their first win in the Premier League in 2026.
You must know, Toby, that one win can always do something to a team.
Yeah, definitely.
And Man City, they are a team that have experienced players. Players have won the league, multiple trophies, titles, and they can do something.
If you are Mikel Arteta, what will you be telling the boys now? I know that they are not happy to lose at home to Manchester United, but they need to move on from now. I mean, they have a Premier League game against Leeds United on Saturday. Before that, they are going to play Carrick in the Champions League. What will you be telling the boys that?
I think now is not the time for Arteta to go into that dressing room.
No need kind of pumping, right?
And start, what he does, how he does it, it's too, sometimes it's too infuriatingly animated for my liking. Yeah. And now it's not the time to go. Now is the time to let the players know that you are at the back. You support them. They've got your support.
I know many will be crying because he made 2 mistakes.
The first thing that a player needs sometimes is
the confidence,
the part on the back.
Yeah.
Even if you have committed an error, once you realize it, so Arsenal, they've got away to Leeds next week, Saturday.
You are still 4 points ahead.
Man United is gone, guys.
Focus on the next game.
I go into the dressing room, guys. Now, Man United is gone. Preparation start for Leeds United. Because if Arsenal are not careful, they are going to remain in that something. It's going to cage them, and it can form something psychologically for them. And if they do lose point against Leeds,
that would be
other teams will begin to have belief
that they can
get something against Arsenal.
Lastly, do you think they can still win the league? Will Arsenal win the Premier League title?
I do think that Arsenal are going to eventually be the champions. This is going
to be close. Man City will drag them.
Honestly, Toby, I don't see it being close unless Arsenal begin to.
But 4 points is not huge. It's not big.
Yes, that's why it may be close. That's how it may be close because Arsenal are dropping points. But if Arsenal find their mojo back, it's going to be a straw in the park in the end.
All right. I mean, we've talked about Arsenal, Manchester United. I know that we have fans who want to talk about the game as well. Arsenal fans not happy.
You know what interests me about this game is there are no controversial moments.
Definitely.
For a big game to have no controversial moment, it shows that the two teams, the referee, the officiating, and the game itself is a balanced game. So I really give it to the lads, Man United especially. And if you're a Man United fan watching us, glory, glory, Man United. Sorry, I could sing the song, but my voice is a bit hoarse. Please
drop your comments on our page, and of course, we want to read from you.
Yeah.
If you're an Arsenal fan, tell us what do you think Arsenal can do differently in their next game. As a Manchester United fan, do you think that you are back?
All the way.
Like JJ said that they can even win the Premier League title. I know he was just joking. If you're a Chelsea fan, I mean, if you're a Chelsea fan, I know you're not really happy.
The world champions.
I know you're not really happy that Arsenal lost at home, but let's also get your thoughts.
The world champions.
What do you think will happen at the end of? Do you think Arsenal will still win the Premier League title at Sport Hangout? Of course, just like I said the other time, we'll be happy to read from you. Until next time, when we come your way, I remain Toby.
I'm JJ, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you.